What's up, everybody? This is Rene Rodriguez with the Long Story Longer podcast on a late night podcast because I cannot sleep. It's all due to excitement, man. Equal parts music, and also I've had a crazy sleep schedule as of late. I forgot to put my headphones on. Hold up. So yeah, man. As far as the music goes, what I'm talking about is we recorded some new music, right? And actually, we recorded that several months back. Acoustic guitar. I love the way it sounded on acoustic, so I went to the studio initially and we recorded that music acoustic. And once I showed it to our vocalist Adam had suggested he's like, you know what, dude, it sounds great, but I kind of want to hear that electric with some distortion on it. So we had gone back sometime after that and re-recorded it with my electric guitar, my Telecaster. I love that guitar, by the way. But we went back and we recorded that song with my Telecaster with some overdrive, some distortion on it, and Ryan re-recorded his drum parts to make it a little bit more lively, also. And the song sounded great. It sounded great, except for my timing was off on a couple of places, and it wasn't the final product. But I'd been busy with my work schedule and everything, so I'd still listen to it every so often, and I would still show it off to a couple people here and there. I've got my trustees that I show my music to see what they think, hoping they wouldn't catch my mistakes. But a couple people, like my buddy Danny Galvan, he caught it. He's like, dude, it sounds great, but your timing's off here and there. It might be the drums, it might be the guitar, I can't tell. Ultimately, it wasn't Ryan that was off timing, it was my guitar parts. Um, Real quick about that song, though. So, our vocalist Adam Avenue Theus, um, Yolotli broke up. They've already let it be known to everybody that they're not together anymore. But Adam had also reached out about him being in another band called Letters from Wolves. Um, so he's busy with that at the moment, and he can't sing for One Star Day anymore, and that's fine. I get it. Adam's got his primary focus, and that's great. I'm happy for him. Adam's like a brother to me, so I love the dude, and I'm forever grateful for everything that he did for One Star Day. We've got our songs Glow, Ryan's song, and we've got 1985. I love both of those songs equally, and both of them get radio play. Daniel Paulus at Cali Q has played them on Q Connected, and it's all in part because Adam's vocals are great. It's all equally in part to everybody's talent. Adam's vocals were great on both songs. Again, I'm forever grateful, but also my boy on drums, Roger Arjola playing bass on Glow, and then Greg Garcia playing bass on 1985. Both of them amazing bass guitarists. Um, so yeah, so the excitement to that song at the moment is that I guess I'm going to sing on it, right? And I'm not afraid of it. I'm excited. I'm nervous, but I'm not afraid of it. I mean, I don't have the best singing voice, but I get by. Karaoke night, man. Fucking my go-to song, Folsom Prison Blues. I rock the shit out of that song, right? But anyway, again, Adam's with a new band, and I wish him the best with his new band, Letters from Wolves. Find them on Spotify, iTunes, and most streaming platforms, and on YouTube. And their first single out is called Gift of Hate. I believe the band had released most of those songs already as instrumentals. And I don't know if it's just the case with Gift of Hate or not, but to my understanding, unless I'm wrong, Adam, correct me, they're going to re-release all those songs with Adam's vocals on them. So God bless Adam on his new journey with music, with his new band. I'm happy for you, brother. Love you always. But yeah, man, One Star Day. It is my project initially with my son Ryan, a father-son project. So I think it's only fitting that I take reins on the vocals too. Um, Only issue there with the vocals is I've always written whenever I write pretty good. I've always had proper grammar, proper spelling. I take pride in whatever I write for sure. But as far as songs go, man, I complicate myself. I might get a little bit too wordy. Um, I don't want to be cliche. I don't want to be cliche as far as what I write. It's kind of hard not to be right. How do you say something that's already been said a million times different? I get it, but I don't want to be too generic, and I'm my worst critic when it comes to that. So going back to that song though, we did go to the studio this last Friday, October 4th, and we re-recorded the parts where my timing was off, and we added new parts to the song. It sounds all the better for it. Anthony, our producer, had made some suggestions, and he wasn't wrong. Ultimately, the final product that we've got, the bass frame of the song, is already there, just ready for post production and ready for my vocals once I write them. Right. Um, on that song, Anthony is playing bass also. So I'd taken my bass guitar the previous time before this last time because I figured similar to the vocals, it is my project. Maybe I'll play bass on it too. That way I can. Not that I need all the credit. No, no, fuck no. I don't give two shits about credit. But I figured, you know what? I'll dip my toe into that water. I'll play bass on my song too. And I'm a guitarist, not a bassist. And I think I can get by on bass, but what you can't get by on is feel and the soul of it. And what I was playing for sure fit the music I was playing. It was just too busy, and Anthony suggested that it was too busy. So then Anthony picks up my bass, and he came up with a bass line for it. A simple bass line, but it sounds great. It gets the job done and then some. Um, the way he played it, and his suggestion was, so I'm playing guitar in drop D tuning. For those of you that know what drop D tuning is, you get your fattest string on the guitar and you detune it to where you're tuned to the sound of D. Most often used for metal music, because whenever you drop D tuning, you don't bar your chords like this. If that makes any sense to anybody that plays guitar, you just use a one finger to bar your chord. It makes it easier. Now I'm not doing simple shit like that at all in the song. I'm doing riffs and whatever, just with the way I do my finger work on the guitar neck. Um, it's easier for me to play in drop D for the sounds I'm trying to get on that song. So anyway, Anthony's suggestion was your bass line is too busy, just ride the D. Don't get perverted. Just ride the D, man. Ride the D note. And sure enough, the bass line that he recorded for it was great. He recorded it. My only input was make it punchy and make it grimy, give it some distortion as well. And it sounds great, man. I can't wait for you guys to hear it. It's going to be part of the new intro music. I had previously used the version that was out of time anyway because I still kind of liked it. But it's in there again, a different part of the song, and the new recording to where everything's in time. So it sounds great, man. I can't wait to come up with the lyrics for it, and I can't wait to show that off, man. It's gonna be a great song, and I hope like its predecessors, 1985 and Glow that Adam helped me out with. I hope it's just as good as those songs. I hope I do Adam justice with the help that he's given us before. I hope that they get played on the radio also, and of course, if they're going to get played on the radio, they got to sound just right. So, one of the stories that I've only shared with a select few people about how One Star Day came to be, um, I thought about this recently and I actually recorded it previously on a solo episode that I never released. I just got busy with life and work and everything, and I never got to edit that episode and do it. But I'm going to go ahead and share that story now. So, once upon a time, again, I've got my talent in art as far as my graphic design and drawing and all that stuff, and then music, of course. And at one point in time, before One Star Day came to be, somebody had asked me for some help with some artwork. and I gave them great quality product. In the end, they loved it. They expressed how much they loved it and everything, but I got gypped. I never got paid. I got stiffed. Um, and it put me in a bad place because, for one, every time people ask me for a favor with artwork or whatever, I don't often charge a lot, man, because I figure more often than not, it's been people starting businesses and they want a logo for their company. And I've been beyond reasonable with what I charge these people because I figure they're just getting their feet on the ground and they don't need the extra expense of having a logo. I'm going to give them a great quality logo, and eventually life will pay it forward to me. If I help these people out, life will pay it forward. And I'm not concerned. More often than not, I'm not too concerned with the payback at all, but I was in a bad place because this person just didn't pay me, man. And it wasn't that I needed the money at all. It was just the principle of it. Like, man, I gave this drawing my everything, and they didn't fucking pay me. So during that time, again, it was a bad time. Um, a friend I went to high school with, I never heard her singing voice or anything, but she reached out to me on Messenger saying, "Hey Renee, I know you play guitar, and I was wondering if I could have your help. I joined a music competition, and I sing pretty well. I don't know that to be true or not, but she had reached out saying, I joined this music competition, and I could really use your help since you play guitar." She got me at a bad time. This is when I'm thinking to myself, I help everybody out, man, and I just got stiffed. I need help too. And I know I was rude. I can't remember exactly what my words were, but essentially I said something like, you know what? No. I'm done helping people out, and I'm never helping myself out. Um, I'll apologize to her sincerely. If I doubt she'll listen to this or whatever. Maybe I'll reach out on Messenger someday. But I do feel bad about it in retrospect now. But I'm also grateful it happened because that moment made me go, yeah, man, I gotta help myself out before I help everybody else out. This is the time I put me at the front line and do something for myself. As far as music goes, especially, I already got fucking stiff with my artwork. I can't do anything for somebody else when I haven't done anything for myself as far as my music goes. And yeah, the rest is history, man. Initially, when I first talked to Adam, because we had already talked about doing a project together at some point, um, Adam had suggested that his brother played drums on the band too. His brother Drew. Both of them are great buddies of mine. The Theas brothers, love them both. But then the first time I went into the studio, Ryan was already playing drums, right? He was already taking his drum classes and doing pretty good. And Ryan went into the studio saying, "I'm gonna be your drummer, right, Daddy?" He still calls me Daddy, but now he's a cool guy, so it depends on who's around. He'll call me Daddy when it's just me and him. But if my brothers are around, or friends are around, or some of his buddies are around, it's Dad, right? Anyway, Ryan was like, "I'm gonna be your drummer, right, Daddy?" And I was like, "Yeah, man, you're gonna be my drummer." And I remember reaching out to Adam and saying, "Hey, man, I know we talked about your brother being the drummer, but Ryan's doing pretty good on drums, and I don't want to break my son's heart. I don't want to break his heart and then not let him be the drummer for the band. And I think before I let Adam know, we had already recorded the music to Glow, Ryan's song, not the words because Adam came in with that later. But we had already recorded the music as far as the guitar and the drums. All we were lacking was the vocals and the bass guitar. And once Adam heard the music and the drums, he was like, "Oh no, dude, hell no, man. I'm good with it, man. That's cool that you're doing a project with your son. Don't worry about Drew." And I hadn't met Drew at this point. I met Drew way later, and um, I consider Drew a great friend also. But yeah, man, going back to my original reason for saying the story was I'm glad this person asked me for help with music and me saying no because ultimately it led to what we are now, One Star Day. And now again, we'll see what becomes of the music with me at the helm with the vocals too. It'll be all right though, man. I'm excited for it. It'll be cool. So, also wanted to talk about work. I think I shared the information on the episode with my buddy Angel Big Dog Aguilar. So previously for the railroad, the last 7+ years, I was working as a signal maintainer, maintaining crossings. Most recently in Carlsbad, New Mexico, so only about 2.5 hours away. Prior to that, I've done Roswell, New Mexico, Fort Sumner, New Mexico. I've maintained Hereford, Texas, Dalhart, Texas, all over the place. November 3rd of this year, so in just under a month, I'll be 10 years with the railroad. But anyway, so the last 7+ years, I was only home on weekends, right? And every third weekend, I'd be stuck wherever I was maintaining on call. So my time was very limited, my time was very short, and I'm finally back on a signal construction gang after all these years. I'm enjoying it, man. It's the physical labor of it for sure. It takes a toll on my body, but I love it, man. I'm out there working hard for the most part, and I'm home more often. So Tuesday to Tuesday, I'll fly out on Tuesday 1 week for work, and the following Tuesday I'll fly back home. And it's great, man. I'm home more often with my son. He's happier than ever before. I'm happier now too. There's a bunch of positive stuff going on for sure in our lives at the moment. So I'm happy to be home more often for most of it. Um, it's it's a significant pay cut, but I don't give a fuck about that, man, because I'm home more often. I'm with my son more often. I've got more time to do everything, not just the music, but everything else. I've been taking Mijo to his baseball games or his practices and stuff, and man, baseball's a busy schedule, so I wish it wasn't as busy as it is, but Mijo's got the excitement of seeing me at the practice or at the games. They're watching them. I'm not the parent that takes the fun out of the sport, like I've seen not on Mijo's team, but I've seen it on other teams where you've got the aggressive parents that scold their kids for not doing right or for fucking up a play. I'm competitive, but I'll never be that parent, man. I don't believe in participation trophies, so I will give Ryan a hard time as far as doing his best. Like, dude, give it your all, but I will not take the fun out of it. But yeah, man, I've been home more often. I get to enjoy a lot more stuff with my son. I'll be able to do the podcast more often. I'll be able to do more music also. Um, I've written a bunch of music, man. It's just a question of going into the studio and recording it too, and making sure my timing's right. I can't be uh, hitting the notes off time, man. Um, so yeah, man, home more often. I'm happy for it. But I will say, however, this doesn't happen that often that we get a lot of overtime. So this last hitch that I just flew into town from this last Tuesday was a 16-day long work hitch. So again, normally I fly out on Tuesdays, but at the start of this last hitch, I flew over to Kansas City for some voluntary classes. I took a crossing cutover class. That's a class that you take to be approved or certified to put new railroad crossings into service. And that's a 4-day class. So I flew in on Sunday and I flew back into work in San Diego on Thursday after my test. So then I kick it off into my work in San Diego, on the crew. We're digging trenches, we're running cable, running wire, wiring switches, the track switches or whatever, we're doing all that. And they had given us 4 days of overtime. And then after those 4 days, they gave us an additional 3 days of overtime optional. And I fucking took them. So in part, it's, hey man, Christmas is coming up, so that extra money is going to help for sure. I might just buy Christmas presents now and not worry about it later is what I'm thinking, right? Um, I do thank God that the company offered us that overtime for sure. Um, but I'm 43 and I'll be 44 this Christmas, right? Man, it's taking a toll on my body now. I ain't no punk bitch, man, and I'm gonna keep on working as hard as I can. But it took a toll on my body, so I flew in this last Tuesday, right? And again, this last work itch. The last 7 days, the overtime days, they were pretty much all 12-hour days. For not all of them, but for the most part, they were all 12-hour days. We're doing heavy lifting. We're digging trenches. We're pushing cable through vaults that are underground or through pipes, whatever. It's a lot of physical labor. I love it because I'm pretty sure it's going to help me stay fit too. It's as good as any exercise in the gym is the way I see it, man. Because we're walking a lot. We're using our upper body strength a lot. I love it, man. There's no way around it. I do love the physical labor. I do. Being a maintainer is an easy job. You just got to make sure your crossings work. You got to make sure you keep your stuff clean. You got to make sure everything is in working order. But being back on a signal construction gang, yeah, man. The older I get, I feel the toll it's taking on my body. But again, man, I love it. I ain't no punk bitch. Uh, I'll never be the weakest man in the gang. That's one of the mental uh, issues I've got where I'm always going to be ready to work. And I'm not just talking shit to sound like I'm the hardest worker out there because I'm fucking not. But I try to be. I try to be as hardworking as I possibly can. Um, but yeah, man, we had the 4 days of overtime and then the 3 optional days. And initially, I was tired, man, and I was gonna fly home that Saturday too. And then my foreman Ted had asked me, "Hey, you're gonna stay all the way through, right?" And I was like, "You know what, man? Let me talk to my son. Let me talk to Ryan and see what my son says." And at first, I talked to Ryan on the phone, and he's like, "Nah, Daddy, I want you to come home. I want you to come home." But then we kept on talking, and I convinced him. Like I was like, "You know what, dude? Let me stay these extra days. I'll make it up to you." He wants to go to Hook and Reel. That's one of his favorite restaurants. I was like, "I'll take you to Hook and Reel as soon as I get home." I didn't take him yet, but I will. Excuse me. I told him I'd buy him some shoes too, and I'll follow through with my end of the deal. But uh, but yeah, man. Everybody went home except for myself and my foreman, and we got a lot of work done, man. I think on Sunday, it wasn't as hard of a day as far as the work goes. We did do a lot of walking for sure, but it wasn't as hard as the other days. And then Monday, the day before we flew back home, oh my God, I was dragging my ass. And thankfully, one of the signalmen on the other gang that showed up to relieve us, um, they called him Pimpin'. He walked up to me several times like, "Dude, thanks for the help, man. Thanks for the help. I really appreciate you helping us out, man, and this and that." I'm like, "Really?" Because honestly, I did think I was dragging ass. I didn't want to be just standing there doing nothing. As tired as my body was, I was like, "I can't be a bitch. I can't be a bitch. I'm gonna keep on working." But I know for a fact I stood around a few times, not for a long time, but I would stand around for a few times, um, pretty much from my knees to the bottoms of my feet. They were fucking burning, man. But we got through all that overtime, and what's crazy is fly home on Tuesday. I'm really fucking tired, right? But we did plenty on Tuesday because I think as soon as I got home, I had time to make Mijo a meal before we went to a scrimmage game that he had that day. And then on Wednesday, I tried to rest. I went to the outlet mall. That was about all we did on Wednesday. We went to the outlet mall to get a couple things that Ryan wanted too, as far as clothes and stuff that he bought with his birthday money that he had saved up to this point. Also, he hadn't spent all of his birthday money, so he went and bought himself a Nike sweater and some Timberlands, the boots. But tired that whole fucking day, and then Thursday really fucking tired. Still felt like shit. And finally, on Friday, October 4th, the day that we went to the studio, I started feeling better. Like recuperation is no joke, man. I think the older we get, recuperation is no joke. Um, I remember hearing movie director Kevin Smith on Joe Rogan saying, "You can't let the old man in," and that's one of my mantras now. I think I try to live off of that too. You know, I just think about that every so often. I can't let the old man in, man, because the second you let the old man in the door, it's all downhill from there. Granted, turning white. My dad even joked around. I'll never paint my hair. Fuck that. I'll never paint my hair. But I remember my dad. He's joked around several times. Cabrón, estás bien canoso. Your hair's turning white. Your beard's white. At least paint your beard. I'm like, nah, man. That's not me. No. I'm gonna age gracefully, but I'm not gonna let the old man in. Nope. 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 But yeah, man, that's everything that's happened as of late. If you guys are on my social media, you've seen that. Again, working in California, so the regular schedule is from 6 a.m. to 4 p.m. And other places that I've worked, I've pretty much gotten off of work and I would kick back at the hotel room on my tablet, drawing or binge watching whatever series is hot at that moment in time or whatever. But being that I'm in San Diego, man, San Diego's a beautiful place. If you could get past if you could get past the smell of piss everywhere that we're working, and if you could get past all the transients that are in the area, San Diego is still a beautiful place, man. I went and saw the Foo Fighters at Petco Park where the San Diego Padres play. I went and saw the Foo Fighters perform there. It was a great show for sure. Um, every day after work, except for these 12-hour days, because I was getting to the hotel room all beat down and shit. But every day after work on regular days, I've been going to take my walks on the pier or driving up to Mission Beach and taking my walks on the sidewalk. Mission Beach is amazing. Um, just it's crazy to see that California vibe, right? Like California politically, it's fucked, right? I don't agree with a bunch of California's politics. Again, as I said previously on my episode with Angel Big Dog Aguilar, chill out. I am a registered Democrat. I am. I just don't like the state of the DNC at the moment. Anyway, um, San Diego's got to be my favorite place in California for sure. I love San Diego, everything it has to offer. But that lifestyle there, man, it's. I think to myself, I would never live there, but had I lived in San Diego, I can see how stress free, outside of bills, because it's expensive as fuck out there too. But anyway, outside of bills, like a lot of these people at the beach, right, like staying active on roller skates or skateboards or bicycles or just jogging or running or playing volleyball. Like, man, I wish we had that in El Paso. I wish we had stuff like that to do in El Paso because it takes a bunch of that stress away, man. Um, I'm not stressing out as often as I used to. I used to stress out a lot. I had a bunch of shit going on in my head for some while, and I feel great now. You know, I feel great about life for sure. I've had a more positive outlook the last year or so, year and a half, and but yeah, man, just San Diego's great. So I'm not gonna waste my time out there, man. So long as I'm working there, I'm not gonna waste away in a hotel room. Um, I said earlier with the 12-hour shifts, with those days kicking my ass. Oh yeah, I was resting those days. Um, More often than not, I would get to the hotel room, I would shower, have dinner, go to sleep. One time I did hit the bed because I was just fucking dead tired. One time I did hit the bed and didn't even shower. I was all filthy and dirty, what have you. But I was all filthy and dirty and I smelled like sweat and shit, I'm sure. But I knocked out. That's how tired I fucking was. And I woke up early in the morning. I took my shower at that point, went back to sleep. Um, Woke up in time for work and took another shower just to wake myself up right. And yeah, man, but for the most part, I don't think we'll be there much longer. I hope that we are, but I'm enjoying my time there. I love San Diego. Um, a great place to be working for sure. The weather's perfect. The sites are badass. It's just a great place to be working. So happy out there. Happy, happy, happy. Um, and with me having more time at home, like I said earlier, more podcasts, more music. So look forward to that, man. Thank you guys for being up this late with me, or for just watching this, because you guys will probably watch this in the morning or once I post it. Thank you all for watching this. I'm not gonna consider this an official episode. This is just me talking. This is just me expressing stuff. So yeah, man. Thanks for watching. Keep tuning in for some more guests that I've got lined up. And real quick, I don't think I mentioned that yet. I don't think I did, but I have talked to several guests that are set to be on. I just got to schedule it in. I'm very excited about all the guests that I'm going to have, and I'm equally excited for all of them for sure, because these guys got great stories to tell and everything. But there's one guest in particular where I can't wait to shake this dude's hand, man, because this dude's a fucking winner that's done some good shit with his life, and I'm looking forward to that episode, man. And so yeah, stay tuned to the Long Story Longer podcast. I love you all. Thanks again for watching. Peace out. Good morning, good night, whatever the case might be. Take it easy.